probably a racist, group within a police department. But in any event, I went through the same thing. And there's nothing more terrifying, I'm going to tell you, than sitting under armed guards while you are while you're being detained. I wasn't zip tied and all that, but while you're being detained for hours, and you got these trigger happy, police, it's true, looking at you all that time. This is an unacceptable reality that these people were put through. Humiliation. Daryl, there's just so many rights that were violated here. This is not how the Fourth Amendment is designed to work. And this is a total abrogation of rights. So has any entity announced that they're going to sue over this raid?
So, I don't know the specific raid, but I do know Illinois is currently suing the administration because Trump has recently announced that he's federalizing 300 Illinois National Guard, and then he's bringing in 200 Texas National Guard. So what I will say, while people are filing lawsuits, government from our government to then you have other legal entities who are also working on the ground. The lawyers are doing what they can do. I do think it's important to name that clearly this administration does not care about the law. So back to your first question, our clergy, community groups and coalition have been doing Know Your Rights training so that we can try to protect ourselves as best as possible. You literally had, going back to the faith leaders are putting their bodies on the line. Community members are being tear gassed and maced and, just being attacked. But at this point, again, this government does not care about the Constitution, and I guess they believe they're above the Constitution because they basically stack the odds in their favor. So folks are doing all that they can do, and we just have to pray that and make an appeal to the hearts of people in this country that they can see this administration and its leadership for what it is and understand that we are a democracy in this country, and we have to literally fight for the soul of our democracy in this country at this moment.
Yes. And yes, go ahead, Daryl.
Yeah, Reverend Chamberlain, we certainly appreciate all that you're doing and all that the organization is doing to help out the community during this time. A week ago, Barbara, maybe a week and a half ago, we were dealing with, the incident that occurred with Jimmy Kimmel Live being canceled and how the country got up in an uproar and ended up forcing the FCC forcing radio the television stations to bring Jimmy Kimmel back on the air. Well, this, Reverend Chamberlain, is something that's much more personal than dealing with a television show, right? And dealing with the First Amendment. We're now dealing with people in their individual rights and I keep coming back to it, and the mental, the psychological impact that this is going to have on the citizens and those that are living in these areas. So we really appreciate what you're doing. I know that there's some resources that are available. Barbara, one of our Gen Z alumni from TJC, Edward Ward, had sent me information indicating that he actually is part of a workshop that's led by Dr. Orr over in Westside. If people feel as though they want to learn more about their rights, one of the resources that is available is westsiderising.org, westsiderising.org. Another source that's there, Barbara, is from an attorney that I came across in Chicago, Tanya Woods, and she's with the Westside Justice Center, and they too can provide information about knowing and securing your rights, and they can be reached at westsidejustice.org, westsidejustice.org. But so, Barbara, I just really want to take a moment and thank Reverend Chamberlain for what she's doing, but be certain that the folks in Chicago know that there are resources that are available to help them know and understand and get trained on their rights that they have with regards to ICE, with regards to policing in Chicago and in the state of Illinois, Barbara.
Yes, and there's the wonderful, wonderful video that I just love that was done by Reverend Otis Moss III of Chicago. And in his video, he walks through all the rights that people have. People, you can look it up. Reverend Otis Moss III, Know Your Rights. KYR, Know Your Rights. And he has, he talks about what you do if somebody comes up to you and claim that they're ICE and you can't tell who they are. What do you do? What's your obligation? What are your rights in those circumstances? He walks through how do you get help afterwards? How do you report what happened? What can you video what's going on? He goes through all of the questions that people have every day when you're in this kind of a situation. And it's so important, people, that people do videos. One of the stories that I want to just lay out to our audience is that you may have heard about Miramar Martinez and her case. She is the woman that you heard all over the media because I spread this lie that she had, quote, ran the car, that she was, quote, trying to assault an officer. Well, the video is out. The actual video camera from the police officer, it shows no such thing. Instead, it shows them going over to her car after she had chased them with the other cars that were, following ICE and reporting on what it was up to, that they went up to her car, and it shows them just shooting her. These 7 times that she was shot. It shows them as the aggressor. They will lie. That's one thing I want people to understand. They will lie. That's why it's so important. If you are in a situation and you're capable of videoing it, video it, please. Please. And report your video. Take it to, the ACLU. Take it to, one of our many legal organizations, Lawyers Committee, LDF, whoever, and make sure that people know what really is happening out here in these streets, because they will lie. And lying has become a big part of this administration's agenda, is to sow fear, to sow confusion, to just put forth fake narratives. It is so important that we not fall for it, right? Reverend Chamberlain, how have you been dealing with everything on the ground? I was very struck by Congressman Jackson's report about how people aren't even relaxing, by the lakeshore in this area. And it reminded me, Daryl, didn't it, of what's happening here in D.C., about all these ghost streets where people just don't come out because they don't want ICE to bother them. And then they want to talk about crime is down. Heck, people are down. You can't even find them. It's just horrid what's going on in these cities. Reverend Chamberlain, how is it affecting the people that you're seeing? You mentioned the children going about their business. How's it affecting everybody?
I'm sorry, you said how is it affecting everybody, just in the community or in the city?
In the community and the city, yes.
I just think that it's a lot of people are on edge. Although I would say those who know what's happening, they see the chaos and it's terrifying. I think there's still a lot of people that we need to get the word out that this is something that will impact us all, because they've done a really good job on, as you said, lying about what's happening, and they've done a really good job at making this a brown versus black issue. So again, those who know what's happening and understand the seriousness of the matter are really concerned and on edge. Those who had the direct experience with it are on edge, and it's terrifying. But there are still a lot of people and it's going to take radio shows like yours, social media, folks preaching in the pulpits. It's going to take a lot of us to really wake up and shake people and let them know that this isn't, a time to have a black and brown divide. And neither is this a time to believe that this doesn't impact you, because it literally impacts us all.
Yes, I thought about that when I was watching Scott, telling those lies on CNN, and I looked at him and I said, you will never, as a white man in your white neighborhood, have this level of fear, and that's why you can sit there and just lie through your teeth and viciously attack people and act like, it's okay to zip tie. He would not even denounce the zip tying of a 5-year-old and the detention of a 5-year-old because, and that picture, that scared baby, that traumatized baby that we've all seen. He wouldn't even condemn that, because, quote, it was worthwhile if they were getting the bad people, etc. And those it's not just the black and the brown, it's also the white in this. And about, how all of us, when we don't understand that we're all in this together, and that if they come for me in the morning, they'll come for you in the afternoon. If we don't understand that, then we all lose, because there is no scenario under authoritarianism in which anybody is free. Nobody's free. Not even the people engaging in the authoritarian acts. Everybody's looking over their shoulder. Everybody's afraid of being reported. Everybody's afraid of being the next target. There is no such thing as freedom when you're in a dictatorship, people. There is no such thing. There's no, quote, preferred race that will never, ever feel the consequences. You can think that you might never, so you'll sit up there and lie, but you will eventually suffer. Daryl and Reverend Chamberlain, I was wondering, is there any kind of GoFundMe or any fund for people to help the people who are in that apartment building to contribute to make sure that they have the means? That poor woman who said that she had, where was she going to go? She had no money to, get another place. Is there anything for those folks?
I haven't seen any GoFundMes. However, I'm always a big advocate of people actually going out and being on the ground, so that we can, so that you can directly see how you can join in for some of the efforts. People, if they want to reach out to Live Free Illinois, we can direct folks to how they can get in contact with people in that community. Also reaching out to some of the elected officials in the area who may be in closer proximity. There are a few pastors that are on the ground and working in that area as well that may be directly connected. But right now, I would even be a little worried about when GoFundMe is out right now, until they're more efficient channel set up.
But I was, in most natural disasters and man-made disasters, some legitimate funds are set up by legitimate entities. And even if it's not a GoFundMe, if you come across that information, please share it with us, and we will share it out to people around the country, because folks see what's happening, and they want to be part of it. They want to help, and people need help. And so whatever we can do to direct people to the right places to help, we want to do so.
And Reverend,
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Reverend Chamberlain, if I may, one of the things that I think is really interesting with what's happening in Chicago, right, is as one of the things that, let me start with what Congressman Jackson lifted up when he talked about the soldier who was living in the building, who had come back from